new picture.
It
Hall
changed?
picture.
Oh, we're in a different hallway. Okay.
But yeah,
Same hallway, but
that's why
different.
that's why it's a new picture.
Go figure.
One flight of stairs up, and I ran into problems. I probably should have taken the ramp instead of the stairs with my heart condition.
Maybe the elevator? There's got to be an
Yeah.
elevator, right?
The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one.
Nope. The painting's different. We just
I know,
figured
right?
that out.
Wide, of course, and plain, like only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there is a plethora of other unmarked rooms.
Yep, guess we'll have to start opening random doors.
Yep. Without knocking, because it's Japanese. And they never knock in any media, because then it leads to more funny situations. Quote unquote. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the ladder and choose my direction at random. Always a good idea to get where you're going. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed.
Ah, the library. We found it.
It's not open either, just barely ajar so that I can see it's open and nothing else.
Maybe not the library.
It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough.
Is it, though?
Hopefully it's not like the door to the girls' bathroom or something.
Yeah.
At the very least, it means that someone is inside, and I can ask for directions no matter how embarrassing that is.
Unless they're deaf like Shizune. They'll probably have an
Yeah.
interpreter.
Why is it embarrassing to ask for directions?
Yeah,
It's your second day.
Don't put that expectation on yourself. It's fine to ask for help, just like Misha always says.
I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice.
In case there's a bear on the other side or something? What?
The feeling of being an outsider to this school can't be shaken from my mind, so much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. This door needs oil. The door slowly creaks, as if groaning from a deep sleep, though is much easier to open than I'd anticipated.
It'd be a lot easier if it was properly lubricated.
Yeah. Proper lubrication is important, kids. In all things, really.
Alright.
Leaning over and poking my head even further inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek...
Hello? Oh, that's you. Fuck. God
Oh, it is me. I didn't realize it was me. I'm sorry. I thought it was somebody else.
I did too.
The meek hello on my lips is quickly snatched away. Oh, she's pretty.
She's so elegant. Oh gosh, how does she talk?
This is not what I was expecting. Even the music is like elegant for her.
I love this music.
I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes but doesn't look at me.
We may have to workshop this as we find out more about her.
I think she's blind.
Yeah, she's got some pretty foggy eyes.
And he said she opened her eyes without looking at him when he entered.
So that or she's completely aloof. Hello there. May I help you?
Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seemed to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's the so it's a soft, measured voice.
Okay.
However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's a being separate from the room itself. She's one of them.
How did we forget? We let our guard down.
Yeah, I know. Not only is she likely the tallest. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow,
Okay.
alright.
I didn't realize from this picture. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly oh, right, she's blonde in Japan.
I was gonna say, I guess it all makes sense.
She's strikingly distinct. Hi. Sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand.
Care to take a seat?
Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite her, the girl resting the teacup and the saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling.
Uh-huh.
That, and the slight cloudiness in her eyes, means she must be at least partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office.
I take it you're a new student to Yamaku?
That's a very good voice for her.
Awesome.
10 out of 10. And no wonder it's more relaxing. We went from those, like...
World domination.
Yeah. Yeah, I just transferred into yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting. One which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of the action.
I mean, she could probably hear your, like, clothes crinkle as you do the bow.
You could probably notice somebody was bowing in front of you even if you were blind.
It's the thought that counts. Oh, how do you think we pronounce that last name?
Lily Satou.
Satou, okay. I'm Lily Satou. Pleased to meet you.
Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup.
Would you care for a drink?
Sure. See, I feel like if this character we're playing as was playing the game, this is the girl he'd romance.
Mm-hmm. Very quiet and reserved.
As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf.
She was standing on it?
I was wondering about that too. No wonder she was the tallest girl we'd ever seen.
She was standing on the chair the whole time.
Yeah. She's actually just average height. A brush here, a brush there. Her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before.
That has such a dainty and elegant vibe to it.
I mean, like, tea preparation in Japan has its own, like, historical culture of, like, being a whole ceremony you can do, right? Like,
I did not know that.
as I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in
Hey,
the cup.
get your finger out of my drink.
Yeah, hopefully she's not serving that one to us. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offerer preparing the drink.
So,
Her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance.
which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school.
The school library. Shizune and me. I mean, some classmates told me it was on this floor. Those who must not be named.
Yeah, don't worry
apparently.
about them.
I don't know any other girls. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it being stirred.
I'm aware of Miss Akamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no?
That's right, in the science room with Muto. Muto? Muto?
I think that, yeah.
Muto. Muto. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand.
He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do.
Oh, we get to see
I
ourselves.
mean, look at that. We're
She's
not
tall,
too bad.
damn.
Yeah.
As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person.
Dude, really?
He's such an angsty teen. Like, he must worship
Yeah.
Batman.
But I guess I'll drink the tea.
I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up.
I would say so.
Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Yeah. Thanks, Satou. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face.
Look at that cute little smile.
She's so big. She's like literally like twice our size.
Yeah, I'm not interested anymore. I'm into tall girls. Lily, please. There's no need to be too formal.
She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well.
I'll show you well-bred.
Oh my god. I'm sure he'd love to. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So, which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes.
You know, on account of the freakish height.
Yeah.
Correct. I'm in class 3-2, which is on the 3rd floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and is specifically for both blind and partially blind students.
Think we could get him to teach us karate?
Hey. Wax
I
on,
see.
wax
What
off.
a rude thing to say.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I didn't catch the issue with what he said at first.
It's like that Killua meme from Hunter x Hunter where he's got the bandages over his eyes and he goes, I see. I feel like slapping myself for the faux pas. Looking at her face, though, she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it.
My. There's no need to change your speech on my account.
Sure. Sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here.
An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions. Unlike you, Hisao.
Yeah, right.
Hisao.
That was a jab. That was a subtle jab at us. She saw through us already.
saw through us. Nice.
I was wondering if you'd catch that. A category which would include her, it seems, all too ready to jump ship from this particular topic. I segue into another.
Segu.
No, that's how you spell segue.
Yeah, Segu.
Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place.
Come here often?
Do you come here often? Yeah. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I liked to have lunch at. Wow, ending a sentence in a preposition, clearly too low class for her.
I come here fairly often during lunchtimes. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea.
Class representative, huh? Where's your friend?
Yeah.
Is she single?
Is she shorter, by chance?
Wow. Just
you freaking
straight
giant.
to the straight to the heart of probably her. If she's insecure about anything, it's probably either her height or her height.
Does she know how tall she is comparatively, though?
Just because you're blind doesn't mean you don't know you're tall.
Well, I mean, how often do you reach out and touch the tops of other people's heads? I guess you could, like, hear where their voice is coming from, so she knows it's coming from, like, way below her.
Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune's blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of school's clubs. This
That's
girl
what
will
you
be
think.
useful to me. What kinds of clubs are there to join?
The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunchtimes, the baseball club, and the book club in a room near the library. There are also numerous small ones, though, such as the art and music clubs.
At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. Can you imagine how much work it would be to join the reading club? And I love books.
Yeah.
I wonder if this school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club?
It isn't, though it is encouraged.
Oh, good. Yogata! That's a relief.
Aw, look at her smile.
Oh, it's cute. I really let down my guard around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Oh yeah, look at him, he's like, what a relief. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. As I look over to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still.
As much as he wish it would.
Yeah, he wants to spend forever with this girl. The time's gone quickly.
Sorry? Oh.
Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting.
And what a shame.
It just looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of the time. That's good. That's a good sign for us.
Yep, that's promising. Sorry, Hisao. I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long.
I quickly move to allay her concern. No, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? Bro, we weren't sure if it was open, like, before.
Yeah. Plus, what is she gonna do?
Pause.
Look at the clock to figure out what time it is?
I mean, she probably knows if it closes before sunset or not. Although, if they don't have books in Braille, I'm not sure how much she would visit the library.
It's a school for the disabled.
Probably not her favorite place.
I really hope they have Braille and audiobooks.
Oh yeah, audiobooks, true. I forget about audiobooks. She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case.
True. It's open until 6:30 during weekdays.
It's gotta be getting close. I mean, the sun is setting.
Yeah.
A quick glance at my watch confirms that I have well enough time to get there. What
Hang
time
on,
is it?
What? So you're telling me that we got out of school for the day, played an entire game of Risk, lost track of time having tea, and we still have time to get to the library before it closes?
Before 6:30.
What? The quickest game of Risk I have ever witnessed in my life.
We were really bad at Risk.
We were, oh my gosh. And she still wanted us to join student council?
Well, yeah, because we lost.
Oh, right.
That was what.
Right.
Yeah. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her.
It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you to where the library is?
I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it all right. Besides, you're one of them. You wouldn't be able to find it. Well, unless my navigational skills fail me. Which they seem to have a habit of doing. She's probably 10 times better at getting around here than you are.
It's alright. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you.
This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. You're sure? Then that'd be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that had been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. I keep forgetting that we switched to be me narrator, so like I keep like forgetting I'm doing it now. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. She's taller, probably.
Yeah.
His must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation.
You're telling me you can't tell the difference between a seeing eye stick, maybe that's not what they're called, a guide stick and a walking stick?
Like a walking cane?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's...
How sheltered of a life?
I assumed his cane was a walking stick.
I did too. He was leaning against it. It even said he was leaning up against the cane.
Yeah, and he had the thick glasses and had a hard time seeing our face.
Oh boy.
Maybe he has that Benjamin Button disease where he's real old. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library.